Now today is Thursday the 17th of April 2025 and it's an hour earlier. I'm out with little Rosie this morning because today, being the Easter bank holiday weekend, we're on a little trip out. Well, actually it's a working trip again to the Isle of Wight to do some more secret stuff with my mate Andy Beezer, so I thought I'd bring you along. Now, Will's not coming with us because he's in Spain. Well, he's on his way back from Spain today because he's been in a football tournament with Stockport County under-17s education team. And last night they did brilliantly. They got to the final, but unfortunately got beat by a penalty. But the girls team, congratulations to them because they actually won the tournament. It's just amazing. So that's why he's not coming, because he's flying home today. It means he's got to fend for himself over the weekend. Anyway, look at this view over Manchester this morning. Sun's just coming up. Beautiful. Now, today being Thursday as well, it's also a big day for my team, Man United, because they're playing in the Europa League quarterfinals. And as we all know this season, worst season whatsoever in the Premier League for Man United. So this is our last chance to do something. Well, we've still got the semi-final if we win tonight, and then the final, so still a bit to do, but if we get beat tonight, that's it. That's the end of the season. And at least, no, we could still get relegated, couldn't we? Anyway, so let's get on with it and do the 4 to 5 hour trip down to Southampton and get on the old ferry over to Cowes and the Isle of Wight. So, catch you in a bit. So let's look at this Airbnb we're staying in for the next 3 nights. Well, there's an unusual first thing. The actual dining room is at the front of the house, the first thing you come into. But it's a very bright, quite a big room. Here is, looks like the lounge, living room. And, oh look, it has a log burner. And my wife will be definitely making use of that over the next 3 nights. So quite a big room, quite a nice cosy looking room. It's quite a big terraced house really. Very nice. Let's go and check out the kitchen and upstairs. Kitchen first. Quite a long, thin, galley type kitchen with all the amenities. You can see it has a microwave. It's got a gas cooker, obviously kitchen sink. It's actually got a washing machine as well. It's got tumble dryer. It's got a fridge freezer, a dishwasher, and a separate fridge as well. Anyway, let's check upstairs. So let's turn right and check out the bathroom. So it's got a big bath, which my wife will be very happy with. Shower, again obviously wash basin, another vanity unit, toilet, yeah, towel rad, everything looking good. Down the little step, down the long landing to the first bedroom. So this is the 2 separate beds which we won't be using. We normally put all our clothes in here and use it as like a dressing room while we're away. And here's the master. Quite a big nice bed. It's got a TV which we'll never watch because we never actually turn the TVs on in these places where we go to. Anyway, let's have a look outside so we can see we are right near the chain ferry. So thanks chain ferry, otherwise we would have had a 11-mile trip round just to get here. So that's what it's like upstairs. Let's go and see the garden. Well, here's it's more of a yard than a garden by the looks of it. It's quite high up, this bit of ground. So anyway, yeah, we won't bother with the plumbing in this one after the comments the last time I did it. Anyway, yeah, it's a lovely backyard with beautiful weather. Nice. So on this beautiful evening, we're on our way to dinner, and we're going to a restaurant called Red Duster, which hopefully is what United are going to do to Lyon tonight. So after we've had something to eat, we're then going to go back into Cowes and we're going to meet Andy to watch the game. Fingers crossed. So if you're looking for somewhere to eat in West Cowes, I would highly recommend the Red Duster, and the cod was amazing. Anyway, we're just walking down here now to the floating bridge to meet Andy, and then we're going to the Prince of Wales, yeah, not the one who lives in London, the pub down here, to watch United. So hopefully United don't let me down. We were very lucky. The kind gentleman waited for us to get on. We nearly had to run. Anyway, just a short ride over there.
United are the team for tell me when it not paddywhacked in another boat. Why won't Leo your phone?
Well, I can't put that on YouTube now, can I? So it's midnight, and this is the last ferry. It's going to go back across from East Coast to West Coast. So it looks like we just made it. Well, what an evening that was. Can't get over it. 2-0 up. 4-2. 5-4. Maguire. What a hero Maguire is. Anyway, there's only us left on the ferry. The last one over. So, catch you tomorrow. Now today is Saturday. So not doing anything with Andy today, so no work today because he's practicing for the Manchester Marathon, which is next weekend or the weekend after. So my wife said we're going to have a trip round to see all the places that we've come to ride, and there was a special shop she wanted to come to in Ryde, and no, it's not this sweetie shop. Christmas Imaginarium shop. So we've come to Ryde to see what she can buy for Christmas. Really? Anyway, let's go and have a look inside. So if you're in Ryde and you're looking for something for Christmas, check out the Christmas Imaginarium shop in Ryde. 60 quid I spent. 60 quid on tree ornaments. Great place though, amazing. Now while Andy is preparing himself for the Manchester Marathon and doing a 10-mile run today, I thought I would prepare myself for the walk down the seafront at Ryde and pay a visit to a Black Sheep and get a full English breakfast. Serious question for you. Should tomatoes, black pudding and hash browns be on a full breakfast menu in the UK? For me, definitely yes. Definitely yes. Definitely no. Let me know in the comments what you think. Not really a day for going swimming, but it could be a day for going on the pier. Now we've just popped over to Shanklin. Now last time we was here, we did play on this crazy golf. And on the beach right here behind me is where an air ambulance helicopter had to land to pick somebody up off the beach who had badly injured themselves. Now we've come to Shanklin because my wife wants to go to the Shanklin Chine. So let's get on with it and get to the Chine. Now on the way to the Chine, I nearly actually forgot about this very significant spot. Now, if you follow my channel on a regular basis, you'll know one of my passions is the engineering that took place during World War II. Now, here in Shanklin, this is where the old pier used to be, but it's actually quite a very important spot because this is where Operation Pluto went from. Now, if you don't know what Operation Pluto was, well, basically Pluto was an acronym for Pipeline Under the Ocean. So this is where all the petrol was pumped from the Isle of Wight to across the English Channel there, because right across the English Channel here we are, is the beaches of Normandy. So Omaha, Utah, Gold, Juno and Sword, just straight across there. So what they did was they ran 2 pipelines from here to the port of Cherbourg in northern France, because they thought if they took it over in a tanker it would be too vulnerable and could be sunk quite easily. So they decided to install this pipeline. Now the only remaining part of this pipeline you can see is still here on the island, which runs through the Shanklin Chine. Now just in front of us here is a plaque that commemorates Operation Pluto. Now the plaque was unveiled in 2005 by Lady Mountbatten, who was the wife of Lord Louis Mountbatten, who was the maternal uncle of Prince Philip, who was the father of our king, and he was the instigator of Pluto. Now you can't come to the seaside, can you, without having a latte? Or a little ice cream. Rum and raisin and chocolate, my favourite. Here we are at Shanklin Chine. If you want to know what chine actually means, it's an old Saxon word which is only spoken here on the island of the Isle of Wight and Dorset, and it means gorge. So let's go and have a look at the gorge. Now this is the actual pipeline that brought the petrol to the pumping station before it was pumped under the English Channel over to Normandy in France. So it actually ran right the way through Shanklin Chine. Just amazing. Now we parked our car up there, so we're going to go in the lift up there, if we can. The original hydraulic Shanklin lift was constructed round about 1891. In 1957, the lift was removed and replaced with this current structure. As you can see, it cost £1 for everybody. £50. Now the lift car took about 30 seconds to go the 45 metres from the sea level to the top of this cliff. And it was definitely worth £1 each. Good morning and welcome to our final full day on the Isle of Wight. Now my wife decided last night she wanted to do something for her because she has to come along on these trips while I'm doing my business and sit there reading her Kindle books. So she's asked if she could come to, I think it's called Adgestone I think it is, and it's a vineyard. So we're here at a vineyard because one, they make wine, which is my wife's favourite thing to do in all her life, is drink wine. And we've also can do taste testing, or my wife can do taste testing. And we're going to have a little mini tour around this vineyard to find out exactly how they make the wine here on the Isle of Wight. So the wine they make here is called English wine. That means the grapes are grown here and crushed here and bottled here. So let's get on with it and find out exactly how they make wine on the Isle of Wight. Adgestone Vineyard claims to be the oldest continually operating commercial vineyard in the UK, with its roots dating back to the Roman times. The vineyard today was established by Mr. Ken Barlow, a pioneer in modern English winemaking, in 1968. Now let's take our audio guided tour of this vineyard. So after my wife had completed her wine tasting experience, we had something to eat and we chose the Ploughman's lunch. While we were having the Ploughman's, we listened to some live music. Now, because we're out and about, let's do a bit of plumbing and gas fault twitching around cows on the Isle of Wight. Here's a solid start. It looks like a balance flue off a wall heater, sticking quite far out the wall, showing signs of corrosion, and it's not sealed. Now here's a good effort. We've got the flue sticking out from the eaves, but they forgot the eaves were vented. That's not good. Looks like a glowworm or a valent flue. Not a clue why it's sticking out so far. This flue looks like it'll be camouflaged by the bush soon, but there you go. Another glowworm or valent flue sticking out too far. Now this doesn't look like a good spot for a flue. Entrance and exit to a load of flats. And it's a Baxi or an ideal flue that looks like it's got white on show and sticking out again. Now this one's not sticking out too far, but that's not the right terminal guard for it, is it? If you want to do any work on these three flues, you've got to wait for the tide to go out and hope the chain bridge doesn't turn up. Now I don't really see why this flue's got a plume management kit on it, but shouldn't be pointing against the wall. Now I can see why they use this plume management kit, but they could have pointed it to a 45-degree angle to the wall rather than pointing straight at what they're trying not to point at. And this flue could have probably done with having a plume management kit. And again, this plume management kit doesn't make much sense, but look at that dodgy soil stack also. And while we're talking about plumbing and waste pipes, how far can you actually run a waste pipe? That is some distance. Just amazing. What's going on here then? Is this a waste pipe or is it condensate pipe? Now this one has a lot. Dodgy waste pipe, dodgy flue, dodgy terminal guard, and obviously dodgy condensate pipe. I think on the Isle of Wight they seem to have a lack of 32mm waste pipe for condensates and insulation. But saying that, someone has tried to insulate this monstrosity, but they've seemed to have failed miserably. And what's leaking on this one? Is it the rainwater? The condensate, whichever it is, it's rotting the gas pipe. Here's a full row of houses with incorrect condensate pipes, And this first house has got another common theme on the Isle of Wight: broken meter boxes. This one's been open to the elements that long, it's actually corroding the meter. Here's another one. At least the meter's not corroded. And here's a special one. They've not just got a broken gas meter box, they've also got a broken electric meter box. And let's save the specially dangerous one to the end. Hopefully these LPG gas cylinders never leak. So that's the end of my working bank holiday weekend away on the Isle of Wight. So hopefully you'll like the video. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.